Greetings, comrades. Welcome to All Power to the People podcast on Grown Folks Talking, Express Yourself Internet Radio via the Huddle Team app. We meet every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We discuss local, national, and global events that impact the material conditions of the people and provide viable solutions. We are here to find those tired of the way their lives are socially constructed. As Panthers, we use dialectic materialism. As Dr. Huey P. Newton stated, power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. From combating the housing crisis to police patrols, we are the vanguard in place to serve our communities. The purpose of this program is to highlight contradictions in the electoral process, which Western culture calls politics. Politics is the struggle for resources. Participating in America's electoral process has only taken resources from the people and handed it to the oligarchs and the professional managerial class that serve them by maintaining the status quo through coercion. We know that power lies with the people, and it is our duty to organize and educate the community so that they can fight for their own liberation. So please join us every Sunday at 12 p.m. You can join by downloading the Huddle Team app, join online, or call in. The app and joining online is free, but if you call in, standard messaging rates may apply. Links to the show will be provided in the caption. This is General Secretary Patience of the new African Black Panther Party, NAB-PP North. In last week's show, we began the reading of The Wretched of the Earth. Here is a recap of what was covered. Fanon argues that decolonization is fundamentally a violent process because colonialism itself is established and maintained through violence. Colonial society is divided into two opposing worlds: the colonizer, who possesses wealth, power, and humanity, and the colonized, who are exploited, controlled, and denied their full humanity. This separation is enforced not only by police and military power, but also by institutions such as schools, religion, culture, and economic systems that normalize submission and inequality. According to Fanon, the oppressed come to recognize that their condition is neither natural nor inevitable. As they organize collectively, they reject the structures that define and exploit them. He argues that revolutionary violence is the means by which the colonized reclaim their humanity, overturn the colonial order, and transform themselves from objects of domination into agents of history. The struggle is therefore not only political, but also psychological and social, challenging the institutions and values that sustain colonial rule.
All power to the people. Welcome to All Power to the People on Grown Folks Talking, Express Yourself. I am your host, Chairman Africa, and like every week, we're going to go over whatever book we're reading, and we're going to try to see how we can gain some lessons from it to tell us how we deal with the conditions we're dealing with in our current reality. There was just a summary just now of the few pages we read of the Ratchet of the Earth last week. I don't know if you was paying attention, but I'm going to go back to it because it's important. I need you to know where we're already at so you can follow on what we're talking about. But this is our recap of what
at times this next one will be disciple meetings and group myths. That springs from bourgeoisie, because for them, my brother is billed as worthless. The triumph of the accepted the culture in its narcissist blood of the people has flowed, and where the lynch. Chairman, are you starting the reading or are you doing the reading?
No, this is the reading. I'm bugging. Yeah, I'm bugging. I know. I'm trying to find the recap.
Who are exploited, controlled, the colonizer who possess through violence. Colonial society, mentally a violent process, type of what was covered. Fanon argues that
Right.
here's a recap.
it's a recap of what was covered last week. I mean, because I need you to be able to follow on the book. I don't want you to just be here, you're just wasting your time. The recap, after the recap, he's going to start off talking about the churches and the influences they have in the community. But this is the recap of what happened last week, of what he talked about
What was
last week.
covered. Fanon argues that decolonization is fundamentally a violent process because colonialism itself is established and maintained through violence. Colonial society is divided into two opposing worlds: the colonizer, who possesses wealth, power, and humanity, and the colonized, who are exploited, controlled, and denied their full humanity. This separation is enforced not only by police and military power, but also by institutions such as schools, religion, culture, and economic systems that normalize submission and inequality. According to Fanon, the oppressed come to recognize that their condition is neither natural nor inevitable. As they organize collectively, they reject the structures that define and exploit them. He argues that revolutionary violence is the means by which the colonized reclaim their humanity, overturn the colonial order, and transform themselves from objects of domination into agents of history. The struggle is therefore not only political, but also psychological and social, challenging the institutions and values that sustain colonial rule.
All power to the people. All power to the people. No, it's like that is it's important. It's important that you understand that. Like I said, this was a recap of last week if you're just coming in of what we listened to. And he's telling you that our struggle is not only political, but it's also psychological too. That's how he ended that. Because most people, like politics is the struggle for resources. Most people think the struggle is just fighting for resources, but it's a psychological component. That's the socialization process through the institutions. Like we all went to schools. We all belong to these different clubs, different institutions in the community that shape the way we think. And he's telling you our struggle is not only political, it is also psychological. And when I start this next part of it, he's gonna be talking about the churches and all these institutions in the community and what role they play in the community. Here we go.
Greetings, comrades. Welcome. At times, this Manichaeism goes to its logical conclusion and dehumanizes the native, or to speak plainly, it turns him into an animal. In fact, the terms the settler uses when he mentions the native are zoological terms. He speaks of the yellow man's reptilian motions, of the stink of the native quarter, of breeding swarms, of foulness, of spawn, of gesticulations. When the settler seeks to describe the native fully in exact terms, he constantly refers to the bestiary. The European rarely hits on a picturesque style, but the native, who knows what is in the mind of the settler, gets at once what he is thinking of: those hordes of vital statistics, those hysterical masses, those faces bereft of all humanity, those distended bodies which are like nothing on earth, that mob without beginning or end, those children who seem to belong to nobody, that laziness stretched out in the sun, that vegetative rhythm of life. All this forms part of the colonial vocabulary. General de Gaulle speaks of the yellow multitudes in Francois Maroc of the black, brown, and yellow masses, which soon will be unleashed. The native knows all this and laughs to himself every time he spots an allusion to the animal world in the other's words. For he knows that he is not an animal, and it is precisely at the moment he realizes his humanity that he begins to sharpen the weapons with which he will secure his victory. As soon as the native begins to pull on his moorings and to cause anxiety to the settler, he is handed over to the well-meaning souls who in cultural congresses point out to him the specificity and wealth of Western values. But every time Western values are mentioned, they produce in the native a sort of stiffening or muscular lockjaw. During the period of decolonization, the native's reason is appealed to. He is offered definite values. He is told frequently that decolonization need not mean regression, and that he must put his trust in qualities which are well tried, solid, and highly esteemed. But it so happens that when the native hears a speech about Western culture, he pulls out his knife, or at least he makes sure it is within reach. The violence with which the supremacy of white values is affirmed and the aggressiveness which has permeated the victory of these values over the ways of life and of thought of the native mean that, in revenge, the native laughs in mockery when Western values are mentioned in front of him. In the colonial context, the settler only ends his work of breaking in the native when the latter admits loudly and intelligibly the supremacy of the white man's values. In the period of decolonization, the colonized masses mock at these very values, insult them, and vomit them up. This phenomenon is ordinarily masked because, during the period of decolonization, certain colonized intellectuals have begun a dialogue with the bourgeoisie of the colonialist country. During this phase, the indigenous population is discerned only as an indistinct mass. The few native personalities whom the colonialist bourgeoisie have come to know here and there have not sufficient influence on that immediate discernment to give rise to nuances. On the other hand, during the period of liberation, the colonialist bourgeoisie looks feverishly for contact with the elite, and it is with these elite that the familiar dialogue concerning values is carried on.
Yo, that was a lot. That was a lot packed in. What? How many minutes was that? That's 4 minutes. That's 4 minutes. I mean, like he started off this section right here by telling you how they describe us, how they use these words. I got a video of Andrew Reese, one of the coaches in the WNBA, was suspended this week because she called it what I think a species or something like that, something to those words. I mean, she was suspended. Like this same terminology, like the picture right there, the picture that you see with LeBron James on Vogue, when that first came out in 2008, everybody was talking about it because they're still using these ways of dehumanizing us. To describe us in the hood, to describe us wherever we at. Like we saw the kid. I did a show yesterday, and we was talking about this kid that had on a hoodie in Pennsylvania, and he was walking down the street, and the police came behind him because he had a hoodie on. Because he had a hoodie on, the police came behind him to arrest him. He ended up saying he arrested him, I think, for resisting arrest and for jaywalking. But the reason why he stopped him was because he was a black kid walking around with a hoodie on. And that he started this part right, this section, he started it by explaining where all these things come from, where all these ideas come from, and how they're institutionalized. And then when we start to rebel against it, when we finally say like we've had enough, they'll bring some middle managerial people, whether they be black, Spanish, white, Hispanic, whatever they want to call themselves. They'll bring these people to come in and tell us the importance of going to go vote for a different politician, despite the fact that no matter what politician that we have voted for, going back decades, scientifically done by professors at Princeton University, our desires as the masses of people that go out and vote, our desire has a minuscule chance of passing, almost zero, going all the way back for decades. Despite knowing that these managerial black folks, these politicians, these celebrities, these entertainers will come and tell us and explain to us how we should get cameras. We should demand the police have cameras because if it's videotaped, then that will do something. It does nothing. We're living through it. Every day we wake up, somebody's getting brutalized, but now they're just cameras for us to be able to see it. They come and explain all of this to us. Explain to us how people died to vote. How dare you not vote? The people out here gave their lives. People did not give their lives to vote. People died fighting liberation. Voting was a strategic thing that they tried out. They tried out to see if voting would work. But like with every other treaty or every other promise this imperialist government has made, they broke that. After 60 years now, after all this time, do we see that voting don't work? And then you got the study done by Princeton. That's not done by the Black Panther Party, done by Princeton, that's telling you your vote means nothing. We could debate it back and forth. We could go back and forth on it. But Frantz Fanon is telling you right here that these people coming to tell us all these things that do not mean the last is first and the first is last, that we take over power, we own the means of production. All these people that's coming in front of you, telling you to vote for them, telling you to support them, telling you to support their black businesses. If they're not telling you that the power needs to be in the hands of the people, that everything that they're doing, what you're supporting, is putting power in the hands of the people, then they're frauds. You shouldn't be listening to them. These people come from the managerial class, and they're here to explain to you the specifics, whatever he called it. Let him say it.
The familiar dialogue concerning values is carried on. The colonialist bourgeoisie, when it realizes that it is impossible for it to maintain its domination over the colonial countries, decides to carry out a rearguard action with regard to culture, values, techniques, and so on. Now, what we must never forget is that the immense majority of colonized peoples is oblivious to the...
No, before you get to that, yo, what did, like, yo, bro, this is better than any music I can listen to, any television show I can listen to. Yo, did you hear what he just told you? When they can defeat you, they do like a rear guard thing where they take over your culture. They take over. They like they come everything that you believe in, that you have used to be able to survive for generations as a people. If they can defeat you, if they know you're getting wise to the game, you're waking up, you're becoming woke. If they understand like that's what is happening, they will change their strategy and do a rear guard attack on you by going to control your culture. And what is our culture? What do black people always talk about? Culture, culture, culture. Music, hip hop. Who owns these music companies? Who pushes out the music that these musicians create? Who allows us to hear what we're hearing? What was it? Clive David just died, and they talking about how he was doing all this musicians dirty. How he did what's her name from North, Whitney Houston. Who are these people that control the music industry? And you can't just, people like, you just put out your own song. You cannot just put out your own song. It doesn't work like that. You got to be platformed. You got to have the stream and all this for them to be able to get the music out. And they control all these companies. And then they got copyrights, all kind of stuff. Yo, they got all kind of ways to make sure the power is within their hands. That's what all those institutions are there for, to make sure the power and everything stays in the hands that they want it to stay in. And Fanon is saying we have to create our own institutions. We have to walk away from their institutions.
These problems. For a colonized people, the most essential value, because the most concrete, is first and foremost the land. The land which will bring them bread and, above all, dignity. But this dignity has nothing to do with the dignity of the human individual, for that human individual has never heard tell of it. All that the native has seen in his country is that they can freely arrest him, beat him, starve him, and no professor of ethics, no priest has ever come to be beaten in his place, nor to share their bread with him. As far as the native is concerned, morality is very concrete. It is to silence the settler's defiance, to break his flaunting violence in the world, to put him out of the picture. The well-known principle that all men are created equal will be illustrated in the colonies from the moment that the native claims that he is the equal of the settler. One step more, and he is ready to fight to be more than the settler. In fact, He has already decided to eject him and to take his place. As we see it, it is the whole material and moral universe which is breaking up. The intellectual, who for his part has followed the colonialist with regard to the universal abstracts, will fight in order that the settler and the native may live together in peace in the new world. But the thing he does not see, precisely because he is permeated by colonialism and all its ways of thinking, is that the settler, from the moment that the colonial context disappears, has no longer any interest in remaining or coexisting. It is not.
Like, because like whenever there's stuff going on in our community and the people are ready to rebel against the system, they bring these people in front of in front of us to start to give us all these ideas on how we should deal with the issues. And Fanon is telling you right here, like you have to understand, it's one way or the other. You cannot coexist with your landlord. The struggle when y'all meet, when you come to fight to talk about gentrification, is the people are going to own the properties. The people are going to own the property in the community. It is not to negotiate a lessening of rent. Negotiate how much you should pay. Talk about the AMI, area income, whatever. That's not what we're sitting down to talk about. When we're there to talk, like only one person can be in this space. We cannot coexist, and that we are not there. We're not there as a community. We're not there as a people. So that means everything else that you're doing, you're BSing. We're jerking wreck, walking around begging these people to give us rights and tell us he's telling you that's not how none of this is done. If you want me to bring it back, I could bring it back so you could listen to it again with a different ear. Because like I listen to it, I've heard this a lot of times. I mean, and I've read the book. So like me hearing it is totally different. My ear is different to it. But it's explaining to you. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit. Just a little bit. We ain't got nothing else to do. We're here to listen to this. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit.
Settler and the natives may live together in peace in the new world. But the thing he does not see, precisely because he is permeated by colonialism and all its ways of thinking, is that the settler, from the moment that the colonial context disappears, has no longer any interest in remaining or coexisting.
So when the landlord comes and the landlord understands, like, I'm not talking about bringing down my rent. I'm talking about me owning the property. They don't have no reason to speak to you no more. The landlord doesn't want to talk to you. There is no reason to have a relationship or have a conversation with you because they're not making no money from you. And that's what Fanon is telling that Uncle Tom class, that middle management class. He's telling them, like, this is what y'all refuse to understand. They're not trying to be, like when you go vote, when you talk about democracy, they're not trying to be equal with you. The only way they profit is by stealing from you, by oppressing you, by charging you rents that you can't afford, bringing somebody else into the community for them to come in there and they live there, and then the people that were there, we don't know where they at, prison, dead. We don't know where they moved to. We walk around Newark every day. What happened to all the people that were gentrified? Because when you walk around Newark, Newark, New Jersey, used to be called the Chocolate City. It used to be majority black people. Where all these not just black people, majority African American. Where did they go? Where are all these people at? It doesn't matter what ward you walk in. When you're walking and you look outside, the numbers don't add up. Even in your community. If your community was Chocolate City, whatever, it was a lot of black people there. It was a lot of where they at now? Where did they go? I mean, because they're fighting this battle. The war that Fanon is talking about, that we must understand there's only one person that can survive in that space. The last shall be first and the first shall be last. It's only one person can survive there. We haven't understood that. We haven't accepted that. So we let people come in front of us and talk to us about lowering rents or rent freeze. You're going to freeze the rent for 6 months and it's going to go back up. They're going to double what it was before. Like, who do you think you're talking to? And you think these politicians are too dumb to know that's what they're doing?
It is not by chance that even before any negotiation between the Nigerian and French governments has taken place The European minority, which calls itself liberal, has already made its position clear. It demands nothing more nor less than twofold citizenship. By setting themselves apart in an abstract manner, the liberals try to force the settler into taking a very concrete jump into the unknown. Let us admit it. The settler knows perfectly well that no phraseology can be a substitute for reality. Thus, the native discovers that his life, his breath, his beating heart are the same as those of the settler. He finds out that the settler's skin is not of any more value than a native's skin. And it must be said that this discovery shakes the world in a very necessary manner. All the new revolutionary assurance of the native stems from it. For if, in fact, my life is worth as much as the settler's, his glance no longer shrivels me up nor freezes me. And
Yo, even right here, what he's talking about, with to the settlers or the capitalists, the people that are in our time right now, he's talking about the French and Algerian War in the 40s. We're in 2026, and if you want to try to juxtapose that with now, the settlers are the landlords, the people that own these corporations that don't live in our community, but they own all the businesses, own everything in the community. Those are the people that he's saying are not here to have a conversation, to talk. They're not here to debate nothing. They're just here to take out of the community. I mean, and we need to understand that, and if we're going to make a strategy to try to fight back against them.
his voice no longer turns me into stone. I am no longer.
I forgot this part. In the first stage of that, when you know we're at that point, it's when they start to talk about voting, when they start to talk about rent freezes, putting cameras on what you call it, putting cameras on police officers. We get upset. We start to sharpen up our knives, metaphorically, of like getting ready to go to war because we know they're lying. Are we there yet? As a populace, as the masses of people, are we upset when we hear them talk about hope and change? When we hear them say all these things in society? No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet because we haven't been socialized to understand the language that they're speaking. We have been socialized to accept everything that they're spewing out their mouth as if it's logical, as if it makes sense. And in the last chapter, not last chapter, in the last part of this, what we read last week, Du Bois was telling us that we have to build those minds from birth, that understand this struggle is a violent one, that they're going to have to fight to hold on to whatever they have. Because people right now, like, people got so many different reasons why they don't want to join nothing, why they don't want to struggle. They've already been socialized to give up, keeping it a buck. The masses of the people have been socialized to just go along with what it is. So, like, you can go back and go change those people. But the people that know, the people that are reading Frantz Fanon and understand what he's saying, he is saying we have to build the institutions that's going to produce these minds. Ain't none of this going to be overnight. Nobody say this is going to be easy. Like, yo, we meet up and stuff, and then, like, tomorrow everything is good. They don't work like that. It took hundreds of years for them to master our oppression. You're not going to undo that in, like, 1 year, 2 years. I mean, it's going to take everything. It's going to take our lives for us to be able to defeat these people.
Longer on tenterhooks in his presence. In fact, I don't give a damn for him. Not only does his presence no longer trouble me, but I am already preparing such an efficient ambushes for him that soon there will be no way out but that of flight. We have said that the colonial context is characterized by the dichotomy which it imposes upon the whole people. Decolonization unifies that people by the radical decision to remove from it its heterogeneity, and by unifying it on a national, sometimes a racial basis. We know the fierce words of the Senegalese patriots referring to the maneuvers of their president Senghor. We have demanded that the higher posts should be given to Africans, And now Sigur is Africanizing the Europeans. That is to say that the native can see clearly and immediately if decolonization has come to pass or not, for his minimum demands are simply that the last shall be first.
Mm.
But the native intellectual brings variance to this petition, and in fact, he seems to have good reasons. Higher civil servants, technicians, specialists, all seem to be needed. Now, the ordinary native interprets these unfair promotions as so many acts of sabotage, and he is often heard to declare it wasn't worthwhile. Then, our becoming independent. In the colonial countries where a real struggle for freedom has taken place, where the blood of the people has flowed, and where the length of the period of armed warfare has favored the backward surge of intellectuals toward bases grounded in the people, we can observe a genuine eradication of the superstructure built by these intellectuals from the bourgeoisie colonialist environment. The colonialist bourgeoisie, in its narcissistic dialogue, expounded by the members of its universities, had in fact deeply implanted in the minds of the colonized intellectual that the essential qualities remain eternal in spite of all the blunders men may make. The essential qualities of the West, of course. The native intellectual accepted the cogency of these ideas, and deep down in his brain you could always find a vigilant sentinel ready to defend the Greco-Latin pedestal. Now, it so happens that during the struggle for liberation, at the moment that the native intellectual comes into touch again with his people, this artificial sentinel is turned into dust. All the Mediterranean values, the triumph of the human individual, of clarity and of beauty, become lifeless, colorless knickknacks. All those speeches seem like collections of dead words. Those values which seem to uplift the soul are revealed as worthless simply because they have nothing to do with the concrete conflict in which the people is engaged. Individualism is the first to disappear. The native intellectual had learnt from his masters that the individual ought to express himself fully. The colonialist bourgeoisie had hammered into the native's mind the idea of a society of individuals where each person shuts himself up in his own subjectivity and whose only wealth is individual thought.
Yeah, but is that not what they tell us when we go into school?
Now the native who has not.
My bad, y'all. But is that not what they tell us when we go into school, to be individual, to worry about ourselves, to make sure we go get our education so we can move out whatever community we live in and move into the suburbs? That's the individualism that they preach, that we learn from early. Don't worry about nobody else. Only worry about yourself. We hear that from going to school, the first day of school. We are taught this. We are groomed this. It is in the media. It's everywhere. It's in the music. It's in the art, in the culture, in everything. Isolate yourself. Be away from the people. That's what they're talking about. And that is what our intellectuals, the people that we listen to, the journalists, the reporters, all this media that we consume, they all back this up. They push this propaganda.
Opportunity to return to the people during the struggle for freedom will discover the falseness of this theory. The very forms of organization of the struggle will suggest to him a different vocabulary. Brother, sister, friend, these are words outlawed by the colonialist bourgeoisie.
And that's why we use the term comrade as Panthers, because the term comrade outweighs all those different brother, sister, like it's because of our blood, our shared blood. No, when we fight together, when we're fighting because of the conditions that's affecting both of us, we become stronger. You're not going to tell me you build a better bond, stronger than somebody that you've been in a foxhole with, that you've been at war with, that had to protect your life. We all got family members. We know how that'll go. I mean, like, comrade is basically the definition of being in a foxhole together. That's the terminology that come out of that. That's who we are. It is bigger than being a brother, your sister, your uncle, your father. All these people can betray you. But when I say, yo, we comrades, that means our loyalty is forged in the heart of battle. I know you're not going to turn me in because you're fighting next to me. That's what he's talking about right here. When you walk away from that individualistic mind state of being by yourself, of isolating yourself, because he's saying this is what the bourgeois, the middle class, the upper middle class black folks, this is what they preach to us. Whether you black, Spanish, Hispanic, whatever, however you want to qualify yourself, like I always say, because we're in a class struggle. Everybody in whatever race you're in, this is what they preach. This is how they move. What are we going to do about it?
Because for them, my brother is my purse, my friend is part of my scheme for getting on. The native intellectual takes part in a sort of auto da fe in the destruction of all his idols, egoism, recrimination that springs from pride, and the childish stupidity of those who always want to have the last word. Such a colonized intellectual, dusted over by colonial structure, will in the same way discover the substance of village assemblies, the cohesion of people's committees, and the extraordinary fruitfulness of local meetings and groupments. Henceforward, the interest of one will be the interest of all, for in concrete fact, everyone will be discovered by the troops, everyone will be massacred, or everyone will be saved. The motto, look out for yourself, the atheist method of salvation, is in this context forbidden. Self-criticism has been much talked about of late, but few people realize that it is an African institution, whether in the gemmas of Northern Africa or in the meetings of Western Africa. Tradition demands that the quarrels which occur in a village should be settled in public. It is communal self-criticism, of course, and with a note of humor, because everybody is relaxed, and because in the last resort, we all want to say things. But the more the intellectual imbibes the atmosphere of the people, the more completely he abandons the habits of calculation, of unwanted silence, of mental reservations, and shakes off the spirit of concealment. And it is true that already at that level, we can say that the community triumphs and that it spreads its own light and its own reason. But it so happens sometimes that decolonization occurs in areas which have not been sufficiently shaken by the struggle for liberation, and there may be found those same know-all, smart, fiery intellectuals. We find intact in them the manners and forms of thought picked up during their association with the colonialist bourgeoisie. Spoiled children of yesterday's colonialism and of today's national governments, they organize the loot of whatever national resources exist. Without pity, they use today's national distress as a means of getting on through scheming and legal robbery by import-export combined, limited liability companies, gambling on the stock exchange, or unfair promotion. They are insistent in their demands for the nationalization of commerce, that is to say, the reservation of markets and advantageous bargains for nationals only. As far as doctrine is concerned, they proclaim the pressing necessity of nationalizing the robbery of the nation. In this arid phase of national life, the so-called period of austerity, the success of the interpretations is swift to call forth the violence and anger of the people. For this same people, poverty-stricken yet independent, comes very quickly to possess a social conscience in the African and international context of today. And this, the petty individualist will quickly learn. In order to assimilate and to experience the oppressor's culture, the native has had to leave certain of his intellectual possessions in pawn. These pledges include his adoption of the forms of thought of the colonialist bourgeoisie. This is very noticeable in the inaptitude of the native intellectual to carry on a two-sided discussion. for he cannot eliminate himself when confronted with an object or an idea. On the other hand, when once he begins to militate among the people, he is struck with wonder and amazement. He is literally disarmed by their good faith and honesty. The danger that will haunt him continually is that of becoming the uncritical mouthpiece of the masses. He becomes a kind of a yes man who nods at every word coming from the people, which he interprets as considered judgments. Now, the fella, the unemployed man, the starving native do not lay a claim to the truth. They do not say that they represent the truth, for they are the truth.
Damn. Boy be spitting. Boy be spitting. Like it was like it's so much packed into that for me to even try to explain and capture everything that he was just talking about. But he's talking about individualism. Once they understand, like the black, because we're the Black Panther Party. We're talking from a black perspective. I'm talking from a black perspective. But this fit wherever what, however you seem to qualify yourself. I don't know. I mean, I'm black, but now he's saying Now I lost my train of thought trying to explain how to speak, how to say what I'm thinking. No, but what you call it? Like right here at the end of it, like we don't have to say that we are right. We don't have to prove that we are right. Yo, just by being us. Yo, by me showing you my rent, by me showing you outside, showing you how everything is, showing you the price of everything. Like he was just talking about how they raise prices to benefit themselves in times of need, like price gouging. Like, do I need to go prove to anybody that they price gouge? We don't need to prove to anybody that food deserts in our community. There were schools in the state, in wherever you're at. I don't need to prove none of that because we are the truth. But when they come into the community, when the politicians and all the celebrities come in here, they have to give all these speeches, these flowery speeches, lying, hope and change, things that we've never seen. We've never seen hope and change in our community. We've never seen none of the ideas that they're pushing in our community. But these are the things that they bring to us. And until we start to reject it, like when we hear it, we get upset. Like the masses of the people turn their back on them. That's the only way you deal with them. That's when we're going to start to build the institution that we need to liberate ourselves. But like I say, we're not at that stage. We're not at that stage because we haven't built the institutions to harness those minds, to produce those minds. If anybody want to say anything, you could chime in, unmute yourself, and like whatever. If anybody want to talk, because this is not just Africa speaking. We're supposed to listen to this, and if something captures your mind, you're supposed to tell me to pause it so we could have a conversation about it. Every week when we come, we're supposed to have a conversation about whatever they're talking about, not just me telling you what I'm hearing. I mean, but if anybody want to say anything, you can go ahead and say so. Going once, going twice. So, no, this is a movie from 1972, Trick Baby. I don't know if you've seen this video before, but listen.
You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Oh, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has it. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out, and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them, safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
Even we read in France for 9. He got another book, Black Skin, White Mask. It's somewhere over here. It's over here. It's old. I had it for a minute now. It's old. It's all ripped up and stuff. I had it for a minute. But the same person that we're listening to from Wretched of the Earth, in this book, he says our only future is to become white. And that's what they were just telling you. because they control all the institution. He's telling you how they give them jobs. That movie was in 1972, and they put out a movie explaining how these people actually do business. We're in 2026, and they're telling you how they hire these professionals, these educators. They bring the brightest up. They give them money. They pay them salaries for them to go live in the suburbs. Give them health insurance. They're able to travel around the world, take vacations, show us like, hey, look at my house. I got a fireplace. This is what I'm doing. Look at my driveway. I have property. That's what they give them for them to betray us. Because if they leave them, if they don't take that brain drain, not only from here in our community, but from Africa all around the world, if they don't take that brain drain, they can't really defeat us. Because those minds, think of all the intellectuals, all the smart people that they got in all their universities. If those minds were here with us on the plantation, strategizing how to liberate ourselves, where would we be now? But he's telling you in that movie. They're telling you, we take the best out of there. And see, but the people like Trump, and this is perfect. This is why people like us say we want Trump to win, because Trump don't understand that. Don't understand these are the things that they're doing in our community. What they called it? A general secretary, what did they call it when they were going around take all those programs around the world? So
the nonviolent program.
No, there was something like when he first came in, he was going
Doge?
around.
Was it Doge?
Doge. Yeah, when they were doing Doge, going around eliminating all these different programs in all these different countries, which was really soft power. They go in those countries and they pay those people to subvert what the governments in those countries were doing. For them to go, like they may go down and say, we got a building here. The building is here to give out, let's say, AIDS medication. They give out AIDS medication, but the buildings is really there to subvert the politics of that space. They got their spy equipment, all this stuff in there, but you get somebody like Trump. He's like, why are we in whatever, Timbuktu, whatever country he named? Why are we giving out AIDS stuff over there when we could just be keeping that money here? But he's too stupid to understand that they're doing that to be able to infiltrate that community. Just like they used to do with the churches. They transformed it from the missionaries. They still do missionary work, but they transformed it from missionary to like things like Doge. But Trump is too stupid to understand that. Because he doesn't know anything. He's a buffoon. And like to them, to the oppressors, these are the kind of things that will happen to them, to mess them up, to divide them up, to divide the elites up. They have their own issues that divide them, that we're supposed to take advantage of. But we don't, because we got all these people telling you, go vote for Democrats after he get out. That's how you solve anything. I say when Democrats were in, things were different. Our lives were different. But this is what they offer you, because they all seek to maintain the system that's in place. Like I said, if anybody want to chime in, you can chime in, man. I ain't got to be the Africa show. This is Africa talking. I'm just the host. Like, we were just listening to that, and the first part when he started out, he said how these institutions they put in the communities, like the churches and all these different things, are here to control how we think, and they start to describe the natives, the people there, as animals. They never give them human qualities. They define them as beasts. I mean, like the settlers, the people that come in there, like in our community, when they come in and they say gang members, they're all gang members. They're drug dealers. These gang members are our children. These gang members are our children. Like whatever they're talking about, the gang members, they're our children. I grew up when the gang stuff started really popping off in Newark, New Jersey, like around 2000, 99, 2000. That's when you really started to see the gang stuff coming in Newark. And every block was gang affiliated. It got to a point where if you wasn't part of a gang or you was not affiliated, it's hard for you to move outside. Now, let's say if you're outside selling drugs, you participate in the underground economy to survive, and you're out there by yourself, you don't belong to any. Because before that, there used to be blocks. You'd be like, yo, this is my block, whatever. I'm from this block, I'm from this block. But then they moved into the gang stuff, and it was all about territory. So you had to. Certain communities, you have to be affiliated to some kind of gang activity as a kid. These were conditions that were not produced by the people in those spaces. These are conditions manifested by those in power, those that took away the jobs, those that took away the food, everything, that took away the education. Those are the people that produce and manifest all these social ills that we talk about. But you hear people talk about gang members like they're nothing. Gang member, this gang. Go listen to the media. Even black people. The gun issue is a problem in our community. The gangs have all these guns. We have to give them longer sentences. As if that's going to stop the reason why they're going out to go get guns. These people are not stupid. They know none of that changes anything. But it maintains their status quo. But like I said, there was Du Bois was talking about how they call us animals. This happened this week. This was a coach of a WNBA team. They suspended her because she said Angel Reese. Well, I'm going to play it.
Sandy Brondello leads her case. Carl Smesco has walked over.
Oh, let me bring it back.
Closer.
Let me see. She said protected species. That's what she said about Angela Reese. She said protected species. Species. Like what kind of species? What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, like anybody out there could try to explain it to me. But like what?
Maybe she read Frantz Fanon.
Maybe she did read Frantz Fanon. But what could she be like? I've coached basketball before. I've coached a lot of games. Nobody has ever gotten a call, and I said to myself, she's a protected species. What kind of species do you mean? A black woman? But the WNBA is all black women. The person that she filed was black. Let me play the whole video so you can see the whole thing.
Sandy Brondello leads her case. Carl Smesco has walked over closer to the officials. 15 in the fourth quarter. Indiana has a 3-point lead late. Cap here on Ion features the Connecticut Sun and Phoenix Mercury. That's being under review. Oh, she got the hand. No hostile outcome.
You hear the commentators, how stupid the commentators saying that she hit her hands. Yo, I seen what she did. She dropped her shoulder into her chest, or her rib, whatever, her chest, or down by her abdomen or whatever. She dropped her shoulder. And that's what, like, she probably got the wind knocked out of her. That's why she fell down. But what do she mean by she's a protected species? I don't understand. But anyway, that's why she got suspended. Because black people do understand about that. About, like, calling them animals. I mean, so, like, they had to get suspended. I don't know. They probably made it probably was some big noise, but I wasn't paying attention to it. Because I don't pay attention to these people. I mean, I'm not in support of any of them. I don't care about just putting a ball in a hole. Like, that don't do anything for me. I mean, at this point in my life, like, all that stuff, like, I do basketball. Like, we do basketball at the camp. But I don't watch no basketball. I don't watch the NBA. I don't follow no celebrity. Yo, we do it because that's what we need to do to reach those kids. And because we have to do it to reach the kids, yo, we learn about it. But learning about it don't mean you got to know people like Andrew Reese. I can't stand to watch that kind of basketball anyway. It's like, let me see it again. All right, look at this. Look.
Mercury, that's being under review.
Like, look, if I'm going to watch basketball, like I can't watch that. Like, keeping it a buck. I mean, like, it don't do it for me. I mean, but she lowered her shoulder and she ran into her, but she called her species. She said she's a whatever species. What do you mean by that? But Du Bois wrote this in the 50s. Wrote Wretched of the Earth in the 50s. And he said this is how they talk about us. That white woman that's coaching is from Canada. That's part of her excuse too. Like, that's how they talk over there. Because y'all racist over there too. I mean, anybody saw this story? Want to talk about this story, or I should just move on? The West Ibrahim today.
Chairman Africa, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
How are you? And
I'm staying. How you doing?
I'm good. I saw you guys last week running. You know, I was marching. I saw you. Did you see me?
Yeah, we saw you. Yeah, we saw you.
That was too funny. That's the first time I ever saw you right there. But anyway, I want to say this is that you were just talking. Let me take my headphones off. I'm getting my headphones off. You were just talking about that doesn't do it for you. Is it the fact that they're women, or what would you mean by that? That basketball doesn't do it for you? Do you watch men's basketball as well, or you don't watch basketball at all? You just play and coach.
But I grew up. A big fan of all sports in general. Soccer, basketball, football. I played a lot of them. Boxing, but like. Even basketball, when you watch basketball now, like the discipline is not there no more. Like the real, you don't have like everybody. There are roles that people are supposed to play on the team. All of this is what make the sport actually enjoyable, because it teaches you how to work as a team, how you work as a team to be able to accomplish whatever goals you're trying to accomplish in execution. Yo, the game is not like that no more. The big man push the ball up. Everybody just coming up, just shooting three-pointers. I find that disgusting. I mean, and there's no physicality in the game no more. Hey, yo, that bump that she just took just now, did you see how that ball fell out her hand? Yo, let me bring it back. Like that bump, that ain't no bump. Like, come on, bro. Like, that ain't no bump where you can't go up and make a move. Like, it's just soft to me. The whole game is soft. They're flopping. Everything. Yo, I don't like the players. I don't like nothing about these games anymore. I mean, it's disgusting to me. Like, even football, all sports. So it's not just because she's a female. Because I remember, what was her name, yo? Cooper. I think she used to play for Houston when they was winning the championship back in the day. She was like a baby. She was like Jordan, but female. Yo, I could watch her. I'm sure there are players now that play whatever that I will be able to watch. I remember, I ain't even going to go into their names, but I remember I used to watch those people. Like, I enjoy watching that basketball. Like, it was physical, it was strong, it was technical, it was disciplined. Yo, when I'm watching this stuff now, man, yo, they can't shoot free throws, they can't make layups, they can't even get it. It just looks weird and annoying. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, definitely. Second question I have for you was talking about voting. Now, I find it perplexing because I think that you said it. We go back and forth on this, but I do feel, and respectfully so. I don't get we have a spirited debate. Respectfully so, I feel that if Carmella, is it Carmella? I'm thinking of Carmelo Anthony. Excuse me. If she had won, I think that we wouldn't have had those 300 women, black women specifically, gotten fired for their jobs. I think it would be more. I think that it would have made a difference, Chairman Africa, because a lot of things that are going right now is because of the Trumpism, and the racism is just so more blatantly because he's on that side, respectfully. So I think it would have been a change with regard that, because and then again, I don't think Carmelo would have been dismantling the parks that show slavery, whatever those monuments that he had removed as he's trying to erase our whole history. I don't think she would have did that. So respectfully, I do believe there would have been a difference had we had Carmelo over Trump. That's all.
I got you. I'm sure you're about to say something else, because I'm about to say what I'm about to say. But Fanon is saying in the book that we're reading, and the reason why we're reading the book is because our personal opinions really don't mean nothing. How I really feel about a situation doesn't mean nothing, doesn't change anything. The only way to change something is by doing it scientifically and like going by the ways that are in place to be able to change whatever phenomenon or whatever thing you're trying to change. How I personally feel really means nothing. That being said, when I'm studying Fanon, who is considered the Richard of the Earth, when we read in that book, and that's considered the Bible for revolutionaries. Yo, I'm listening to what he's saying, and then I'm applying it and seeing if it makes sense. Yo, Fanon is saying Yo, voting is useless in an oligarchy. Yo, we have no power. If whoever you vote for, they're going to maintain the current system. And so you said, so going along that path, that's where Du Bois is at. So you said if we vote for Kamala, she would have maintained, she would have kept the parks, the black stuff that he's trying to get rid of. And then let's say, what would Frantz Fanon say? How does any of that help the poor people, the masses of people that are losing their homes? How does any, like, keeping those, whoever, what were they, like, what are they trying to remember? It got to be some Negroes that were part of the system, like the Obama Negroes.
It was they all work for the government, and we wouldn't know about them because the only reason why we know about them is because Trump is in office. But I'm sure we don't know how many black people got fired when Biden came into office, or when Obama came into office, or when
No. I want to stay all the way. I don't want to go too far. So, like, these people that they're removing, because according to people like Fanon, these people are not, this is not black history. All those achievements, the achievement of Obama, it's not black history. It did nothing for black people. It maintained the system that's in place. Everything that he achieved was for the institutions that are in place. So they did not achieve anything for the liberation of black people. In fact, it's even worse than that. They are the enemies of the black liberation. They fought to maintain the power in the hands of the imperialists and the oligarchs. That was their job. So these people should not be memorialized by the natives, by the people that are on the plantation. They shouldn't look at those people as heroes. And then you said all the jobs that were lost. I don't know anybody that lost a federal job, because I don't know none of the people that work in them federal places that make that money. Them losing work did nothing for my gentrification, did nothing for my $2,500 rent. What these people are going through, what they eat don't make us shit. And I mean to put a button on it. Those people that they're talking about don't care about me, don't care about the schools that my child go to, don't care about our community, don't even live in my community. So why should I be sitting here boo-hooing when those people, when they lose their jobs in Massa House, when they lose their job in Massa House, and like they don't even come, I don't even know if they came back to the plantation. I don't know what they do when they lose their jobs out there. But how is that supposed to change my condition, to change my life, to change me paying more for gas, me paying more for rent? How is any of that doing anything for the people? From what I'm reading, that's what Frantz Fanon would have said.
I respectfully, aren't you concerned that there was, and we talk about race, that there were 300,000 African American women who lost their jobs? Had it been 300,000 under Obama's watch, white women specifically lost their jobs, there would have definitely been an uproar. And with respect to those, they were, especially in the armed forces or the air forces, we're talking about abolishing those black cats. Do you remember back in the day they had those black men, the Tuskegee whole incident, not Tuskegee, the Tuskegee Airmen. They're talking about erasing that. I mean, they had to fight, the NAACP and the Urban League had to fight like hell to keep that, because that is our history. If it hadn't been for those men. Let's
stop there for a second. What will Frantz Fanon tell you about the Tuskegee? If you mentioned the Tuskegee to Frantz Fanon and he was sitting here talking to you, what will he say to you?
Respectfully, I really, but why should I believe in him? Who is he? He's not the God. He's not the Allah or someone. He's a person who has his own opinions about different things. Respectfully, I really wouldn't care what he would say, because I feel that in his
Who do you care? Who do you care what they say?
I care about what is right and what is fair.
How do you know what is right and what is wrong?
What is right is that 300,000 black women shouldn't have lost their jobs under Trump. And under
is it
300,000? 300,000. Look it up.
300,000 black women lost their job from the government?
Yes.
So 300,000 black women work for the government. I need to pull up that. Where did you get that from? I need to see that.
You pull it up right now. Just go Google and pull up did 300,000 black women lose their job under Trump? And it's been all over the news.
But
I mean, it's been
everywhere.
But let me just finish one more thing. When you say, I didn't mean I didn't care what the guy said. I didn't. It's not that. That's not true. I do respect what he says, respectfully. But what I'm saying is, what do I really care about? When you say that, I care about justice and what is.
No. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Like who do you listen to? Because remember I said earlier, our opinions don't mean nothing. How I feel individually don't mean nothing. It is all about the evidence and being able to prove what you're saying and where you get that evidence and proof from. So you don't you don't, because keeping it a buck, France Fanon is not going to change how you move when we leave here. So if France Fanon won't change how you move, who changes how you think? Who do you listen to? Where do you get your information from that's counter to France Fanon that you believe is right, that you should follow?
Well, you said something earlier. The first shall be, that's a Bible verse. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. That's a Bible verse. I don't know if you know that or not. So I go by. I am religious. I go by what is fair. I like some of the teachings of Malcolm X. I like some of the teachings of Martin Luther King. I like some of the teachings of a lot of people. I put them all into perspective and see how we move right now. A lot of things you say is true. Things that are happening 50 years ago are still going on. But when we look at it in retrospect, we have to ask ourselves, how do we move now in 2026 and use some of that to use what we read about these people and apply them to everyday situations right now. Yes, there's still house niggers, okay? Yes, there still is the field niggers, okay? Yes, that is still going on, but they have different names, like slavery by a different name. We have different names out here. So yeah, I believe a lot of teachings of what you've been teaching us thus far. I mean, I just have to really put it in perspective. But the reason why I say this is because you were saying that voting doesn't count. I truly believe that if Kamala would have been in office, there would be I think right now she would have had the FBI and the whole Justice Department on a lot of lynchings that are taking place right now. Trump doesn't give a damn.
What gives you the evidence that she would have done that?
Because America voted her in. Okay,
what?
That's what because America would have voted her in to do that. I really think that she would have done. It would have been a different. We wouldn't have had no Pam.
Wait, no. Hold on. I can't let that go. You're saying because America voted her in, she would have did all it because America voted her in?
Yes.
I need more than that, Basil.
That's not evidence, Basil. That's a hypothetical. If she had been voted in, she would have done this. That's a hypothetical. That's not evidence.
No, it's not evident because she's not in. It is hypothetical.
What has she shown you in her lifetime that you believe she would have done these things?
What has Trump showed us in our lifetime?
No.
What he's doing now?
Let's talk about Kamala first.
No.
Because you said she would have done it. So what has Kamala shown you that makes you believe she would have done all these things?
What things are you saying to about the Justice Department that she would have had
all
somebody
you
more
listed
competent?
That you said that she would have done that Trump wouldn't do.
Okay,
all those things.
This is hypothetical. But I know
we don't deal in hypotheticals. Provided evidence that makes you believe that Kamala would have been different than Trump.
It's but before you say something, Basil,
you think that she would have let go 300,000 black women and she's a black woman? That wouldn't even came across.
Point of correction, because I have the stats right here. I googled it, like you said. 300,000 women did not lose government jobs.
300 black women. Black women.
Please,
you gotta put that.
I gotta make a point of correction because we deal in science, facts, and data. According to Beyonce Internet, more than 300,000 black women left the labor force or lost their jobs across the public and private sector.
Okay, I'm going to send you my information. I swear, I'm definitely going to send you my information. I got like 5 sources. Okay, no worries. I don't know. Where is that information coming from, Patience?
From Google, from a publication called AFSME. It's an African
American website that caters to black women and black causes and all this stuff, and they said 300,000 from private and public sector, not 300,000 from the government. Because 300,000 black women don't work for the government.
Yes, they do. 300,000 black women did work for the government.
But
if you
listen,
divide 300,000 divided by 50 states, okay. Let's move on. I'll get my.
No, it's okay.
That's okay.
But give me a second, Daisy.
Sure, sir.
Let me get a second real quick. So like when I judge Kamala Harris, so Kamala Harris comes in front and they say like this is who is running for president. So where would I get the data to be able to make a decision whether to support her or not? She's in her 50s or 60s or however old she is. She has a record of what she has done her whole life. So I will go back. So like, where did she go to middle school? Where did she go to high school? Where did she go to college? Where did she go to college from? Where did she work at? What did she do with those jobs? What was the result of everything she did her whole entire life until she got here? And if I go look at her history and I see it has nothing to do with me, she didn't go to the same horrible schools I went to. She didn't live in the same communities I lived in. When she went to college and she took classes and whatever, and got her degree to go work in a certain sector. And whatever she did as a lawyer, whatever she did there really did nothing for the people in our community. And I add all of this up. Then I go to the people that she locked up, the policies that she wrote, and I get all that data. Then I'm like, nah, man. Plus a genocide. She's here supporting a genocide, saying when she come in, she's not going to change nothing from Biden. I'm not voting for her. You see, that's data. That's science. But for me just to say, like, yeah, when they vote her in, like she's going to do it because she's the first black woman to say something like that, that's not intellectual. No,
it's hypothetical, as Patience said. I think, all right, let's just look at this. Let's look at the situation where he's removing all these monuments of African American, black history. There's no president who has done that. No president, when they get in office, think about going to parks and removing whatever. He's taking black history books away. No president.
You know when Kamala was president, they was whipping people on horseback with whips at the border. There's pictures. I remember the news story. Huh?
It was the Haitian refugees. It was
the Haitian refugees. And she didn't come out and say nothing. Like she didn't stand with those people. It was
in fact, she told them, don't come.
Yeah, she told them, don't come to America. She went out and she said, don't come over here. But they were on horseback when she was president. And then they asked her, would you do anything different from Biden, from the war, from the genocide? She said nothing. Hey, look, I don't support people just because they're black. I don't either. I don't support people just because they're men. I mean, I don't believe men should get any better treatment than women. Anybody should get preferential treatment. Every decision I make is based on scientific data. It's based on evidence. I don't do nothing. Real talk, I do want to go on my emotions sometimes. Sometimes I want to go on my emotions on how I feel. But I'm mature enough to understand I can't do that if I really want to get to the root of what I'm dealing with. I mean, and these people, just because they're black, the mayor in the city black, the council people black, the teachers are black, the superintendent is Hispanic, Latino, whatever you want to call themselves. All these people are people of color, and we got the worst education system. We got the worst gentrification. We got the worst poverty. Everything is the worst. So them being black, according to what Fanon is saying, these people being black doesn't mean anything in the community changes. It's really that simple and basic. I mean, and so like if you don't accept that, you have I want somebody to tell me why that is not true. So in your experience, because the police officer is black, that means they're nicer. Like the laws that they come uphold, they ignore those laws because they're black. That has not been my experience, and the data has not borne that out. I mean, so like when we talking about these people, Yo, Kamala Harris is just like Trump. She's the female Trump. That's all she is to me. Obama is the female Trump. All the Ras Baraka, all these politicians, because everything that they're saying is to maintain the system that's here.
No, I agree with you. It's to attain the system of white supremacy. But I do believe, and I think, well, this is hypothetically, that there are some people who do more than others. Like Biden, did he go around trying to disband black African American books? Did any president, besides Trump, go around?
Those are not African American books. Those are not African American books. Those books do not serve African Americans. Those are state produced propaganda. None of those stuff is from black people. They put black faces on it. Obama's not for black people. Thurgood Marshall was not for black people. What's his name? Joe Lewis? Whatever his name is, whatever his name is, he wasn't for black people. Huh?
John Lewis.
John Lewis. All those people, they were not for black people. And I can quote historians. I could quote like revolutionaries that will tell you John Lewis is not for black people. I mean, but we can celebrate what Master tells us we should celebrate. And these are the people that Master tells us to celebrate. I mean, but that's my argument to it.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about books, Chairman Africa. I'm talking about these black authors' books that I see on lists.
Like who?
Like who? I can't. Like I don't.
Look, I could name them for you. Okay, I could name them for you. Hey, yo, what's that lady name? Patience, give me a couple from the 90s.
Toni Morrison.
Toni Morrison. All of these people. These people, they did not write for black people.
Billy and Hurston, Alice Walker.
All of those people. Saving any of their books is useless. What's her name? The one that coming out with CRT, that got CRT now, Hannah Jones, whatever. All these people don't.
Maya Angelou.
They don't speak for the people on the plantation. All those people were there to maintain structural imperialism and to keep us in our place, just like today. Let me play this real quick. This is who they are. These are who these people are.
Sure playing house, nigga. I bet you don't even want to escape. All on mass and nuts.
Oh, I'm gonna escape, all right. I'm gonna escape with this, okay? With my mind. I've got this. It's a play, but for the screen.
What screen, nigga? We in the 1800s.
I thought of a new way to display moving pictures on a screen. Of course, it's all abstract since I don't have any actual film or cameras or anything, but
I'm gonna show Master Curtis my screenplay.
And when he reads it, he's gonna know this could be a huge production.
Nigga, you trying to get off the plantation by selling the script? Nigga, you ain't even supposed to know how to read. How you gonna sell a script, asshole? Look, there's a writer's strike, nigga. Yeah? Well, me and Thelma are gonna get married, have kids, and live in Master's house.
And that's everything for now we're just talking about. The envy of wanting to be in Master house, wanting to be like Master, and then coming up with all these ideas. He's saying he's going to write a script to be able to get off the plantation and make movies. You know, they don't even have, they don't even have movies back then. And he's not even supposed to know how to read. That's like a politician. That's like Kamala Harris coming to me telling me she wants to be president. Because
that's hypothetical. That's hypothetical. That's really satire. You said something that was interesting, Chairman Africa. All those wonderful authors that I have read, that you feel that why do you feel that everybody in America who is black got to do something to uphold?
That's not what I feel. It's not everybody in America that was black. Malcolm X was in America and he was black. Fred Hampton was in America, and he was black. Huey P. Newton was in America. He was black. George Jackson was in America. He was black. I can go down a whole list of revolutionaries that didn't agree with the Uncle Tom.
Everybody's not going to be a revolutionary. So you're going to get on, what's her name? The one who said, "Again I rise," and you're going to say she's an establishment for whatever?
Rise where? Where did we rise to? Where did we rise to?
It doesn't, no, it's not saying where did we rise to. again I rise, meaning that you can be down and you can rise up. You can be
just
down.
like Hope and Change. Just like Hope and Change. Hey, yo, but she didn't use her money to build any schools, to build any institutions to liberate the people. All she gave them was words. Words which amount to nothing.
Why should she use her money to build schools? Why do every black person has to do something? I mean,
it's not every black person.
No. Hey, stop talking. Hey, look. Hey, listen. You sound like him. Hey, Basil. Look. Hey, Basil, listen to him, yo. Listen to what he say.
The lawyer shot down. Don't talk to me about that activism, man.
Yo, that's Memphis Bleak. He's a musician. He was under Jay-Z. And they're critiquing Jay-Z because he's against the Target boycott. He's against anything revolutionary. And they're asking, and this is Memphis Bleak that used to be his artist. And he's sitting up here. And they're talking about what Jay-Z's doing. And listen what he just said.
Hey, the lawyer shot down. Don't talk to me about that activism, man.
Yo, he don't give a F. These celebrities, these activists, they don't give a F about this activism, about fighting for the people. These people, they may say the beautiful words, they may come out and tell us what we want to hear, but they build no institutions that support the people. So we say, those of us that care about the people, we shouldn't support them. We shouldn't listen to them. I don't care how many books they write about if we can rise. We ain't rising nowhere. The only person that rise is you. You're the only one that rise and go wherever, from your art, from whatever you wrote. But the people on the ground, the people on the plantation don't benefit at all. Never did, never will. So why are we supporting these people? And it's not all black people, because we support black people that stand with the people. And you could tell the difference. You could tell the difference when they stand with the people. They talk about building institutions. They don't talk about coming in and exploiting the people and telling them to go vote for somebody that's a millionaire. That's not what they tell them. But every single person that these people try to hold up as somebody exemplar for us to try to look towards, to try to be like, they all push you into the state, go into the government, work within the system that all the revolutionaries told you we must do away with. The same system that's been oppressing us generation after generation, oppressing us now. Because nobody can sit here and say the system is not targeting and oppressing us. But to keep saying we're going to reform that system, something ain't right. Let me finish playing this out before we continue. Let me let Memphis Bleak, because Memphis Bleak is the people we're talking about. Go ahead, Memphis. Oh, my God.
It's like, what about the lawyer shot down? Don't talk to me about that activism, man. Like, the reason is still in there.
Right.
So don't worry about
this. The Target deal is important because hit up both of these dudes. When that episode came, I said, "Oh, y'all got
collective."
But look,
rage.
But look, no,
everybody album is available.
Right. So why would the whole say, "Hey, I don't have to."
He don't have to. He don't owe that. No explanation.
That's what he split ways.
Yo, he's saying Jay-Z don't owe the people no explanation. He don't owe nobody no explanation. So why do we support these people, Basil?
Permission to speak.
I never brought anything from Jay-Z in my life or
No. But
I don't support it. I don't. So
but Jay-Z's a microcosm. Jay-Z's a microcosm. But we shall rise for the Maya Angelos, for all of these people.
No, he's not. He's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about. So when Maya Angelou said that, she said that for everybody. She didn't say it just for celebrities. It was for every person who feel like they can't. Again, you rise. And sometimes we need words of inspiration like that. Again, we rise. And look at slavery. All through slavery, they could have killed us, but again, we're still here.
But nobody rose but Angela, but her. Nobody rose but her.
True? How could you say that? What do you mean?
What we rose?
So slavery. So are we still in slavery?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. You just get conjugal visits. You can go home. You can go home at night after you worked on the plantation. You can go pay your own. You can go pay your own rent. You can go pay all this crazy rent for you to live at home, but at sun up, you come right back to the plantation till sundown. Yeah, we still slaves by a different name. Hey, hold up. Somebody said they wanted to say something. Who was that?
Permission to speak.
Go ahead.
Grand rising to everybody on the line. I've been muted twice so far with no noise going in the background. I'm just trying to figure that out. Doesn't sit right with me, so I keep calling back in just so I can get to speak. That the question that was put on the table just now, and I know people that's listening recognize who they're listening to. We are still in slavery. We never came out of slavery. It just looks different. But now it's more in our face. Let's go back to Pamela Harris. Let's go back to her. Before you put her on the table, you need to go back and Google, which we shouldn't be Googling anything. But let's go back. You want to Google something? Go back to when she was in California. What she did to melanated people. I don't use the word black because it doesn't describe a people or a person to me. Go back and look at what she did to melanated people in California when she was in position then. You want to Google something? Google that. Then you can tell me why we shouldn't have voted for her. And everybody wants to complain, and I don't agree with the orange man, if that's what y'all calling him, or whatever y'all call him today, that's been in office. We should have learned from the last time he was in office, but we didn't. And so you had all these different entities of people voting for him. You had the gays voting for him. You had the melanated young people vote for him. You had the Spanish people vote for him. And then when he got in office, he tore the frame out of them. I'm glad that the wife looked up about the people, how many melanated people, women, let me say it right, how many melanated women got fired from their job. It wasn't nowhere near that amount of women that got fired from their jobs. It was a lot of melanated people that he took up out of there. And what he's doing, you have to wake up, people, because what he's doing is he's trying to take us back to the plantations, which we're never going back to the plantation. And so when you bring up the Tuskegee Airmen, we should have learned from there also not to trust a lot of Europeans back then. We should have learned from that, but we didn't. We're still here on this line, still talking about this or that. My question to the new Black Panther, I hear you playing your videos. I hear you saying we should be following this and we should be doing that. I agree with you 100%. I believe there's a lot of other people on this line that believes also we are still in slavery. You can't leave this country without a passport. You can't enter this country without a passport. If that ain't slavery, I don't know what is. You can't leave here. If you want a one-way ticket somewhere, you can get that. But to leave here, you need a passport. And the only way you can get a passport is through them. So we are still in slavery. We were in bondage, chains and shackles on our feet. We don't have them now. We have them wrapped around our minds, dealing with some of the things I've heard up here today, especially when you talk about his story, which is the Bible. That's not our story. That's his story. We have to collectively stay together. And so what I would like to know from the new Black Panthers is what should we be doing? And you're right. There is a lot of revolutionary people out here that we should be following. And I can tell you one of the ones that we should be following is the NAACP. They were started by 4 melanated men and 1 woman. It took 2 years to get it off the ground because it was started by them, and a lot of us don't even know our history. That's what we need to do in our history, melanated history. This is not even our language that we're supposed to be speaking. So we were robbed of everything. And so, I would like to know from the Black Panthers, without using your videos, the things that you're playing, you said your feelings and your emotions, what should we be doing? I know, I want to hear the people. I want the people to hear what we should be doing to put us back in place, because guess what? When we sent our kids to school, when we went to school, they didn't teach us nothing. They taught us a bunch of lies to keep us in place, just as they're doing now. So why is it a surprise that they've taken out melanated history? It's not up to them to teach our kids melanated history. It's up to us. When your kids went to school, you taught them how to tie their shoes. You knew their colors. You knew how to dress themselves. They knew their ABCs. They knew their shapes. It's up to us to teach our young people their history. It's not up to them. We should have never let them teach us anything. They came here falsely. So what I'd like to know from the Black Panthers is, what should we be doing now? Without the videos, what should we be doing now?
Nah, it's basically, you already said it. In what you just said just now, the last 2-3 minutes, you basically said what we should be doing. And this is what the Black Panther parties was saying in the 60s. This is what Frantz Fanon is saying. We got to build our own institutions. Yeah, we can't send them to their schools tomorrow. We cannot get up and continue.
And thank you. And I don't know why I was muted twice, because I have no noise going in the background here at all.
Got you. But yeah. Well, so that answered the question. That's it.
Yes, brother. That's it for me. Because I know the answer.
What's your name?
This is Brother Leon. I'm the one who taught y'all how to work this app. I taught your wife how to work this app.
Hi, Brother Leon. Yes, he showed me how to work the app.
Yeah, Brother Leon, you and us should be putting our money together to start to build this institution in our lifetime. We should be meeting next week. We should be meeting on Monday. You, me, and whoever's interested in truly changing the condition in our community. We should be meeting tomorrow to start to talk about how we pull our resources, our money that we're making on the plantation every day to start to build our own schools. Because everybody's not going to do it. Everybody's not going to, it's not that person. Like it's not that, man, you know what, in lack of a better word, special, courageous enough to give their lives to the people. So the people that know this, that we need to transform and build our own schools, because the language that we are speaking is not even ours. We should be meeting next week to start to see how we can pull our money to do that, to buy these homes so our people don't go homeless. And I'm not saying we put our money together and we buy homes and we give it away for free. I'm not saying that. That's crazy. We don't have it to do that. I'm saying instead of me paying $2,500 for rent, I don't know what you pay. I don't know what Basil pay. I don't know what anybody. I don't know I don't know what Rodrigo paying. I know we sat at the table, 5, 6, 7 of us. One of us got a good enough credit where we could all back that person up, and we start a cooperative where we start to buy our own buildings, start our own economic sectors. We need to start that next week. It's long overdue. But everybody keep talking, but nobody's willing. And I'm not saying this about you, brother, but nobody's willing to sit down next week and start to see how we put our money together to make this thing happen. That's the liberation. No voting, no celebrity, no marching, no begging these people is going to achieve what I just told you, what you basically laid out. You said it before I said it. And as Panthers, Huey P. Newton, all of them, they used to say that, putting this stuff into practice, putting theory into practice. Okay, we all keep theorizing like we need to come together. Why we ain't coming together? Why we not making meetings next week to come together? I don't care if it started with 2, 3 of us, 4, 5, 6. We build on that, because everybody's not going to just wake up on Monday and be like, yeah, we about to be on some revolutionary-ish. It don't work that way. I mean, so like that's a great question you asked. But I don't know. Hey, General Secretary, why was my man on mute, yo?
Everyone is on mute until they take themselves off mute. And earlier in the show, there was a lot of feedback. I don't know where the feedback was coming from, so I just muted everybody. Please don't take it personal.
I understand that, but when you put people on a hard mute, they cannot unmute themselves.
Okay, I noted. I'll make sure.
Hey, Leon and anybody else that's here, if that's the case, write in the group chat. You'll send a text or something that you can't talk, because I don't want to be talking the whole time, keeping it a buck with you. So if you got something to say, I mean, that's why we're here. We're here to have this conversation. I don't
hang
want.
Up.
Yeah, go ahead.
You have to tell them to hang up and call back because everybody in here is probably not on the app.
Got you.
I'm not on the app. I called in. I don't come on the app on Grown Folks no more. I choose to call in. So that's why I hung up and came back, because I know when I do that, it takes me off, and that's why I hurried up and said permission to speak. And Basil, it's nice to hear your voice. It's nice to know some things don't change.
All power to the people. Hey, yo, hey, get in. Yo, we having a conversation. When you come back like that, be like, yeah. Like, yo, it's like we talking outside. Like, we at the cookout. Like, ain't nobody, like, man, like, we gonna talk like we at the cookout. I mean, like, I mean, and
I just want Basil to look up Kamala Harris, what she did to us in California when she was in charge over in California, what she did. She took melanated people, kids out of the families, you know. So, you know, you just have to look her up, you know.
So that's truancy, right? That was truancy, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was. But see, the whole thing was we have to be careful because we don't know what our kids do when we send them out here. We can only hope that they're doing what we ask them not to do. But some of us, and I'm saying this from the perspective of having to deal with kids for 40 years here where I'm at. What I learned
where
was
you at?
a lot of kids don't know. I'm down here in Atlantic City.
Okay.
I'm close to Atlantic City. I'm not in Atlantic City. Actually, I'm sitting in Acre Township right now, but I grew up in Pleasantville. But I taught my kids down here to keep them out of the graveyards, to keep them in school, to keep these guns out their hands. And what I found out was a lot of the parents don't even know what their kids do when you send them out of here. And you was correct, sir, when you said for truancy. We had a lot of that going on when we was going to school. We had some of that going on, but we wasn't taken out of our homes recorded. They sent somebody to the house to let the parents know because we know the kids intercept the mail or they get the phone calls. So they would send people to the houses. They didn't get taken out of the homes. He had people taken out of their homes, kids stripped from their mothers. And then when the mother got out of jail, it was hard for her to even get her kids back. That's not nothing that I would vote for on any level.
Hey, yo, there was a kid that had sickle cell, and she sent the police to the mother to go lock her up because the little girl had to go to the hospital. She was always going to the hospital because she had sickle cell. So all her homework, everything, they sent to the hospital. But the police showed up at the woman's house, at the mother's house, early in the morning, and they locked her up too. I mean, I forgot her name. I think Patrice something. But that's one of the stories that came out of there. But after looking at all those stories, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to, like, all of them. I already know going in, I don't trust no politician. I mean, then when you do a little bit of background check, you just see for yourself who they really are.
The politics was put in place. Politics was put in place, ladies and gentlemen, let me try to phrase this right. Politics was put in place, and remember, the lawmakers, ladies and gentlemen, are the lawbreakers. They were put in place allegedly to keep the amendments in place, and we're chasing the wrong things. It wasn't our civil rights. It's our human rights that we should have been chasing. We should never have been chasing nothing else but our human rights to be stripped the way we were. We're the only ones in this country that was done the way we were. The only ones. And then here we are here talking, and some of us, a lot of us don't know our history. But then you have people come on and speak and talk like I do, or like you
Ray.
do.
No, not Ray. Hey, Leon.
Yes, sir, brother.
Hey, yo, let me finish this video, and then you come. Yo, right after he finished speaking, I want you to come on and talk about what he just said just now, because he about to start telling us all the good that Jay-Z did in our communities.
Y'all sounded like the old lady in the window. Why y'all outside 3 a.m. loud? We got to tell her we selling drugs. That's why.
No, I don't get the correlation there. Difference is, unless you paying that old lady rent or whatever case may be,
He not paying your rent.
Right. The community at large. The community at large support a hoe.
The community know about money right now because of hoe. Right? Y'all niggas would still be running around picking boogers, wiping them on the camera screen if it wasn't for Hove and B.I.G. Let's clear it up, man. New York was not talking no money until Big and Hove came out.
From a rap perspective.
Yes. So you want to talk about money? He taught you got them chains on. You know platinum because of Hove.
doesn't help the community.
It doesn't help the
No,
community. How that doesn't help the community? It doesn't help the community to get money.
No, all right, now I feel that we have completely different planes here.
Oh, you didn't teach a demographic in the community how to get money and boss up. Answer me that.
How to get what?
How to get money and boss up. Yes or no?
I'm going to say no.
Yo, but this is how our celebrities think. Yo, what you think about that, Leon?
I think, Jay-Z is a business person, businessman. As far as, looking out for us, he ain't looking out for us. He's looking out for himself and his family. But he's not looking out for us. A lot of them rappers didn't look out for us. I used to love to hear Tupac talk because he always spoke the truth. We wasn't talking about rapping. We were just talking about because his mother and stepfather came from where y'all coming from. So when he spoke, he spoke real. So I used to love to hear him speak. His rapping was good. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm saying I like to hear him speak more than I like to hear him rap. We have to wait.
This dude said the masses of the people that consumed Jay-Z product did not pay his rent. That the people didn't do anything for him. He don't owe anything to the people. What you think about that?
Yes, he do. Because he's melanated like we are.
Yo, that's crazy to me. Yo,
like we are. What the heck?
Yo, as a black person, that's crazy to me to hear them. But Memphis Bleak is an idiot. Like, he doesn't know he's not supposed to be saying what he just said. Like, I don't know why he's the one going on promotional tours trying to clean Jay-Z's name. Maybe that's why he never got Jay-Z don't give him nothing. Because he's an idiot. Like, you can't go out there and say the people didn't do nothing for their celebrity. Even I doubt Jay-Z would say that himself. Because that's the death of you. Once the people turn their back on you, people are still listening to him. Once the people
still going to his concert, and they still buying tickets to go to his concert.
You say what?
They still buying his tickets to go to his concert.
Yeah. But hey, the homie Ray here, man. Hey, Ray, what's up, Ray? You hear me, Ray? Swabby?
You may not be able to take yourself off of mute because he's on a hard mute. So he got to hang up.
He's not on a hard mute. It looks like he's called in.
Okay.
Oh,
I called in. I was on a hard mute, and if he is on a hard mute, I'm just saying if he is, and you know when you are because when you push *6, it tells you the host has muted it, and you cannot unmute yourself. So you hang up and you call back, and you'll be off that hard mute. That's how I got back in twice.
Well, if you hear that, Ray, try that. Try that *6. If it don't work,
he has to hang up and then call back and take himself. If he is, I'm not saying that he isn't or is. I'm saying if anyone cannot be heard because they push *6, it'll tell you out loud that the host has muted you. You cannot unmute yourself. That means you are on a hard mute. It means you have to hang up and you have to call back in.
Got you. So look, before we go out real quick, we got a couple of videos here to play, General Secretary.
Yeah, play that.
Yeah, so it's like, we don't have money. Individually, we don't have money to go out and build a school. But we have stuff, we put programs in the community every year. This has been going on, I'll say at least, 18 years now. We have a summer camp because it's expensive for these parents to send their kids to summer camp in our community, in the ghetto, in the hood. It's expensive. Even the ones for the city, you got to pay for. So we have the summer camp, and we have, we have a couple of the kids. They did the little Netflix documentary skit, Surviving Summer Camp. Let me see what the kids say.
Wait. Let me ask them again first. Okay, Hi, Violet. Hi. What is your favorite part of camp? My favorite part of camp. And what's your least favorite part of camp? Oh, you like it that much? You like everything? Okay. Yeah. Hello. What's your favorite? My favorite part is about camp, right? I get to wake up in the morning, go to basketball practice. I don't have to be home until until 1. And my least favorite is we have to wait till breakfast to get that. What's your favorite part of camp? And what's your least favorite president? You like him that much?
He looked real happy.
What's your favorite president? Over to the pool. What's your least favorite president? What's up? What's up to your least favorite?
Hey, yo, Alex, the last one, like, he one of my, like, I ain't even gonna front, he one of my favorite. Like, he worked so hard. He worked so hard, don't complain. But when we talk about building institutions, you're building spaces where you can raise these children to be the people that we demand them be. You don't just go in the community and just tell somebody stay out of trouble. You got to show them how to do this. We wish we had the whole community doing this together. We wish the whole community was working together, to provide these spaces for these children. But we understand everybody doesn't even understand what we need to do, doesn't even understand the steps we need to take. So we do this all summer, man, no matter what happened. I mean, when summer's over and school comes around, it turns into an after-school program. So every single day of their lives, we're part of it, helping to get them to where they need to go. That's what Fanon is saying we need to do. I mean, from birth, like, they need to understand the society that they live in. And these are the conversations we have when we driving, because we pick them up. Most of these kids, almost all of them, 99% of them, we go to their house and we pick them up and to take them to the camp. And during those rides is when you get to have conversations, those quiet times, those times when they're just sitting there and they just bring up something, they just throw something out there. Like they talk about the World Cup. How come the African players are on the European teams? These are the type of things that we talk about. And for the first time in their life, they're hearing a perspective that's different from what mainstream society tells them. I mean, so they start to question it. They start to question it at this early age. This is what our duty is as this generation of revolutionaries, activists, whatever you want to call yourself, however you want to qualify yourself. Our duty is to raise these kids, to bring these kids up, to show them the world that they're living in. I mean, look, if you want to help out, you can help out. I mean,
Question
we don't.
For you.
Go ahead, talk to me.
Do they like? I have this game here. I was doing this company. Do they like? It's called Gundam. It's like a puzzle. Well, it's like you're building a robot actually, and it's very known. It's very out there. I mean, when we did the launch, there were like it's people coming from all over. We did it for 3 days at the Met Stadium. So it's really interesting. I think that they may like it. I mean, it's for ages 6+, and it's brand new. And I think you put it together, and I think they will have a whole bunch of them. I've been wanting to give them away. You just thought about the kids in the summer. I said, let me just put that idea out there.
You could pull up. I don't know. Do you work during the daytime?
I work at home.
Oh, you work at home, because we outside every day, man. You could pull up, but I'll hit you. I hit you when I get off here and see how we could get it. But if you want, you could pull up and come meet them.
Oh, that'd be awesome, because I think they would really enjoy. Because the kids, when we had it at the mall, the little kids were just happy than a pig in the mud to put it together. And this is a very known figure. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll take a picture of it and send it to you, and you tell me what you think, because I know they would be definitely interested in it. This is like major stuff right now.
Yeah, whatever. Anything. Like, you come through, like, we'll see if they like it, man. Because the whole point of them being there is to make them comfortable, to make them want to come.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's like anything we could do. Because, like, next week we're going to have a water balloon fight. I mean, so I'm going to make it like a duel. They're going to be back to back. They're going to take paces away from each other, and then they're going to turn around and try to shoot. I'm going to explain.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to explain what duel was, like, historically, the president that died from duel and all that. We're going to have a little history thing with it. But yeah, man, if you want to come through, I will appreciate it.
What is your address? Let me just, because I mean.
It's 224 Sussex Avenue. It's called the Boys Park. It's right across the street from the homeless shelter and from the Juvie Detention Center.
And what are your hours of operation?
9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Chairman, go to the slide that says volunteers, because that's what we're on. I think it's before this one. Yeah. So we're looking for volunteers. Anybody that have time, resources, knowledge, or support, please come through. We're always looking for somebody to come talk to the kids at the summer camp. I don't know, we can have career day. If you know how to make kites, come make kites with the kids. Anything that you can offer, please come and visit the site. And
we are looking for a swimming instructor, somebody that's gonna come to the pool. We got the pool, we got the water, we got the kids. We need somebody to make sure these kids know how to swim. So if we could end this summer by teaching the kids how to swim, because I remember when I was in the Marine Corps, it took me like 6 days for me to learn how to swim.
Oh, wow. Did you just see that video about that guy talking about? It made me think about that. Did you see that video the Soul Child had on the net talking about? Yeah, we throw him in the water, we could say, boy, you can't swim, you can't swim. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it. What happened?
Oh my God! It was this white guy, right? He got up there and said, "We did it, yeah, we did it. We threw that boy in there, and we know y'all black niggas can't swim. We say swim, boy, and y'all go ha." Oh yeah, wow. I'll send it to you. I will send it to you.
Wow.
And that's why I said, oh, geez, he must have saw the video. He said, like you're seeing a sense of urgency that these black people know how to swim, you know? Yeah.
No, because we've been taking them to the pool for a couple of years now, but we never had an instructor, somebody to really teach them how to swim. So I'm really looking for somebody that want to do that. Because that's what, everybody thinking if you want to serve the people, you got to do all this extra stuff. It's small basic things like that. Making sure they know small basic things like swimming, like knowing how to sew.
Absolutely.
Like learning how to fish, like little things that you don't think is huge. But if you have these tools, if you have these abilities, it's paramount. It's huge that you pass it on. So is that it, General Secretary?
Keep going. So also, we have merchandise. We have hoodies. We have shirts. We have cups. We have any merchandise to support us, to help support the programs. We need money. So please reach out if you want any of our merchandise. I think that would be the last slide, but that's it.
All right, and what you call it? And look, we are working on putting a food pantry or refrigerator in every community where we at in Newark, in every ward. We want to put a food pantry and a refrigerator, and basically we're going to tell the community this stuff is here for free. If you want to put stuff in there for the community, you can put stuff in there. But everything that we put inside those spaces is going to be free for the community. Anybody that want to join that effort, get in touch with the General Secretary. Call the number that's on here, 862-283-9917. There go another part. You don't have to live in Newark. Let's say you live somewhere else like Atlantic City. We could try to work and see if we could put one there where you're at. Because everything we're doing is try to find people that are serious about changing the conditions in our community, and then we work together to do it.
We have the food pantry here. Matter of fact, I live not even a mile away from one. I like what y'all doing in the community with the kids. Reminded me what I've done for over 40 years here, working with these kids, and I'm going to try to reach out to y'all because I have a program that I can send to y'all. Maybe y'all can use. It's a STD HIV program to teach them how to abstain and why that I did. But, in my mind, just listening to y'all, I'm going to try to put something together, maybe so I can make it up there to maybe speak to the kids in person. I can't guarantee anything because I travel by, I have my own personal Lyft driver. I don't use Access Link. I don't try to, because it takes me 3 hours to get up there doing Access. And so I want to try to send y'all something to see if y'all can you can listen to it and see if y'all can use it to share with the kids. I know a couple of people who has. I don't mind sharing what I got and what I've done for my own podcast. And I'm going to try to make a way to try to get up there to speak to the kids, if y'all would allow me to during your sessions.
You're good. All power to the people. You're always welcome. Everybody's always welcome. I'm going to say it again. This is a community thing. The only reason why we're doing it is to show the in theory that it can be done, because that's what Huey P. Newton say we should do. Huey P. Newton say put all these theories into practice. So we believe we can have our own schools, our own after-school programs, our own housing. Yo, then put that thing into practice. So till next time, all power to the people. I live for the people. I die for the people.
All power to the people.